the money.
Here we go, money talk.
Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and tonight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, who knows people, it's took me a long time to be able to sit down long enough to say Rangers have qualified for the Champions League group stages. Now if that just doesn't get the plums pumping people, I don't know what will is. Everything's gone wrong in the background right now, I must be moving around too much, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate dream, the dream that's been on the table for 12 years now, people, over 5,000 days. Rangers are back to the big time thanks to a phenomenal, incredible, brave performance away at PSV where nobody was giving us a chance, but we refused to give up and these players refused to give up, and I'm sitting here right away, yes, very, very excited about what I just witnessed, and yes, the knees are a little bit sore for sliding there in the chair, but I'm sitting here to tell you right now that we well and truly deserve to be right here. And oh my god, honestly people, as I try to calm down and compose myself for the video, I can't even explain to you what I am feeling inside right now. Again, apologies for uploading the video so late on, but this just fried my brain and I was away enjoying myself and celebrating. That isn't something you could just jump away and start filming. No, you need to, you live and breathe every kick of a ball, and that last 10-15 minutes of the game drastically aged me. If you thought I was a grey mess before, you should see the nick of me now. And what an incredible, incredible game. It's, in fact, maybe the roller coaster of what has been a truly unbelievable week was always going to be the actual case. And before we go any further on, because I'm going to talk a lot about these players and we're going to break this game down, because trust me, we have a lot to say and a lot of one-liners that need to come out. But first, I need to shout out our manager, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. You might frustrate the life out of me sometimes, big man, but by God, have you got everything right to frickin' night. And not only tonight, actually, on the lead up to this game, making the decision that he made to leave Morelos in Scotland with knowing full well that if this went wrong tonight, there'd be people gunning for this laddie's head, but to make a decision like that, that is a real manager right there, and he's got a response for his players. We heard a lot about saying the players agreed with it and the players were backing him and everything like that. Well, the players played like they had the laddie's back, so shout out to Gio. I thought the way he set the team up today and the way they after him and they protected obvious weaknesses that we have in our team was an outstanding piece of management for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Would it be cheeky to say if you are new around here, by if you didn't mind subscribing? I can imagine there'll be a lot of out our eyes clicking on today's video. We're trying to reach 56,000 subscribers. That's a special number to all of us right here, so if you didn't mind trying to help us reach our own 56, that would be absolutely scrumdiddlyumptious as we follow Gio on his way to hopefully another. And I'll be honest with you people, I'm even repping the Dutch shirt for Gio, but just to pay respect to that absolute tactical masterclass we saw for the laddie. But it wasn't just the manager, it wasn't just the game plan. Again, you've got to have the players buying in and believing in it and going out and executing it, and they did, people, as this final scoreline went PSV 0, dirty wee goose egg for them, and 1 to Rangers, and that's all we needed. And who was the one to deliver the 1 and 1 frickin', now that was a lot of ones there, ladies and gentlemen, it was like a Matrix reboot right there, but the one that delivered the goal to get us into the Champions League was Rangers' number 9, Mr. frickin' Colak, who from day one I sat here and said to yous watching this channel, this guy had something about him. And again, there's so many people that didn't doubt him, and because he's not got a great song like Alfredo and everything, and he's not got the past experience that we've got with Alfredo, so people absolutely adore him. But this right here is a proper striker, people, and honestly, people could talk about his goal being a tap-in or anything like that, but that is nonsense. Look at the press and look at the chasing down, look at the inspiring, the press, and that's what got us the fricking goal. So for Rangers, he's number 9, I salute you, sir. Well and truly made up for last year, and now it just continues to turn up and score goals for Rangers, and I can't wait to see the frickin' future under this laddie, because for me, he's the future at leading the line. Speaking of future, people, can we talk about the Americans? Can we talk about them? Because honestly, a lot of praise needs to go their frickin' way, and it almost feels illegal that I've spent this long in today's video. Genuinely, you should be cuffing me and taking me away that I haven't mentioned the name of James Sands and Malik Tillman, because that right there has me not only wanting to get an ego and talking to it like this, caca, caca, don't know if that's how eagles speak or anything like that, but it almost makes me want to get a frickin' Americano Express tattoo either here or tramp stamped in my lower back, because that is what the things that Malik Tillman and James Sands made me feel this afternoon, because Sands, just phenomenal. At the back, yes, he had 2 mental passes, right? But he does that to keep us interested, people. He's box office, right? He's for the land of the brave. He's used to that type of stuff, right? He brings the audience in. He has to give PSV a chance before ripping the heart right out Heather Jackson. And then you've got Tillman. Malik frickin' Tillman. This laddie is 20 years old. You know what I was doing when I was 20 years? In fact, I can't tell you too much for what I was doing when I was 20. But something that I can tell you legally that I was doing when I was 20. I was cutting about my boxers playing FIFA, using Rangers to help them get in to the Champions League. This laddie right here at 20 years old has asserted himself in to the squad and asserted himself as one of the best players and most important players in this team at just 20 years old. And that's terrifying. If you think of the composure, the way he was bringing the ball in when he had men on him, even in the last 5 minutes of that game, he's dropping shoulders, dragging the ball and inviting challenges. That laddie is just so far and above what we've seen for so long at this club that we, whatever that loan option to buy is, and apparently it's buttons, get that paid tonight. And I know on this channel plenty of times we have referenced ourselves as Augustus Gallup, because by God have we loved so many glorious moments and glorious goals, but that's not who we are today from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No, we're kicking his big ass into the chocolate river, because tonight we're Veronica Salt, because I want them frickin' now. Tillman, Sands, get them in the door. Boy, did that escalate quickly. I have absolutely no idea what I've already said in today's video, so if I'm covering myself and repeating myself, I do apologise. The heat is well and truly gone, because that there is why we love the game. That there is why we breathe and kick every single ball, man. The emotions are just there for me, and hopefully you can see that, and I'm sure you guys that's tuning into today's video, commenting what you're going to be commenting, is feeling it the exact same as frickin' me. It's been a long journey, people, but I'll try and pull in the reins enough to try and salvage this video that's probably all over the place, and actually go ahead and talk about the actual game then, shall we, instead of just a couple players then. So let's get into it then, shall we? Coming in to this game, we made only one change to the actual starting 11, with Ryan Jack going out and Mr. Saucy Glenn Kamara coming in. And the best thing I can say about that laddie, he looked about as saucy as the Houses of Parliament that slapped on the front of every single bottle of HB sauce. Yes, that's right. If your mind's just been opened, if you didn't know that fact, at least you've left better than what you've came. HP stands for Houses of Parliament. You're welcome on your way, frickin'. But where I'm all smiles and I'm enjoying myself, the opening 20 minutes brought a lot of smiles in one perspective, but also some irritations on the other, because we started this game very well. It was just unfortunate that the 5 corners that we got were fantastically defended for PSV, that genuinely I thought was very disrespectful, because we've seen how we defend set pieces, and to see them come out and do that and deal with every single one with ease, I thought was rude. So all joking and all that aside, it's got to be said, for me, I thought the way we approached, especially the opening 30-35 minutes of this game, was absolutely spectacular, and was almost further than what we could have hoped for going into this away game for PSV. We just seemed to catch them on every single counter-attack, sort of what we touched on yesterday's preview video, because they had the crowd at their back and they demand the ball to go forward, and I thought if we played it right we could really hurt them, and we did on occasion. The biggest chance we had in the opening 30 minutes of our dominance was in the 25th minute, where Colak, Ryan Kent, Tillman, they're all combining, they're all doing some nice stuff, and the ball eventually finds its way to Mr. John Lundstrom, who was spectacular as well, by the way, but on this occasion his shot was just wide. And I want to touch on Lundstrom very briefly. Not only is he the best on earth, but he's almost getting lost in these conversations because we're excited about all the new players, but John Lundstrom for me has been our most consistent player in every single game this season, and even on a yellow card early in that game, he never once put his team in trouble, and some of his composure and his tackles and his powerful running, especially late on in the ball, is exactly why we sing that laddie's name as loud and proud as we do. John Lundstrom, very brief, absolutely incredible. But as the usual Rangers roller coaster goes, we're used to some fantasticness, but eventually it does need to come back down just to get us back down to reality, because after dominating, I would say, the opening 35 minutes of this game, PSV started to chip away, and a lot of it was self-inflicted. The game, James Sands, who I've sang the praise, and honestly, he was incredible. For every 8 perfect things he'd done, he did have a crazy pass on him, and again, he does that, his box office, in that perspective, just to keep us interested. But here, it's a bit mental, it's left-footed, it's in at the middle, just sort of giving the ball away, and that played in its part in them starting to get the ascendancy, getting the crowd on us. There was a ball that gets whipped in as Barisic can't stop a cross. Stop me if you've heard me say that before, but thankfully De Jong in the middle just can't get his size 185 feet on that bad boy. The other set piece, John McLaughlin does very well to get out and punch it, but again, the pressure was coming and we just never done enough with the actual ball. And the biggest chance of the actual game for PSV, in all honesty, especially even up to this point, was Gakpo getting the ball, running in. He creates the space for himself, but thankfully he hits it over. Now, truth be told, I didn't actually see him hit it over, because as that time I started, you know that thing when you're starting to see something, so you start to move, and I was like, oh no, tackle him, and in my panic and actions and overly movements and everything, like, I accidentally hit the remote with the old Jacksy people when I turned the frickin' channel, so I never knew if he scored or not. When I quickly turned it back, I realised that he missed because it was on his face. So again, I'm not wanting to take credit for the fact that Gakpo missed that massive opportunity because I turned the channel, but all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, you can't prove that I didn't. But we'll put a pin on my potential mystical powers and the kind of control that I have over the world just to one side, because we go now into the second half, and the second half had a massive change for PSV as Big De Jong, who just started to threaten, although for me, Golton was shaky with the ball at his feet in the first half, but everything in the air, I thought he was dominating De Jong, to even De Jong having a swipe at him again in that perspective. And again, he couldn't get any change for James Sands because Sands was just thinking about it. He knows he can't beat him on that, so he was taking a couple of steps and making sure he had a run up to really elevate his position. And for me, that's just clever play for the young laddie. So aye, De Jong comes off the park. They actually changed their system and they went with someone a bit more quicker up front, and it sort of changed their impact in the game. And for us, I thought we handled it absolutely brilliantly. I thought the change almost played in the hands of James Sands, and especially played in the hands of Connor Golton, who I thought had an absolute excellent second half. You're welcome, haters, for everything. You can now shout at me. But before we get to the glorious goal and all that, let's talk about the 55th minute of this game, because honestly, I nearly had the tap off getting it some of this, because Tom Lawrence, Mr. Ballon d'Or, if you're paying attention to this channel, just had a moment of sheer brilliance, like genuine sheer brilliance. He turns 1, turns 2, turns 3, turns 4. He looked like a prime Kylie frickin' Minogue, man. He was just doing things, and he eventually gets the shot away and it smashes the crossbar. I guess the underside of the bar, if I'm remembering it, and unfortunately Disney go across the line. But we were unlucky and we didn't get what we deserved. We did eventually, just 4 minutes later, people, and oh man, I'm feeling it in here talking about this goal, because I just love the way it actually breaks down, because it's the press and it's led again on the back of Colak, and people who didn't pay attention to the game and really got an agenda against this laddie will take this for granted, but people that watch the games understands that this is all down to Colak chasing after the keeper. He is setting the frickin' press. He goes after the keeper, he forces the keeper to pass it in the inside, and full credit to Tillman. Not only that, but Kent's on the overside, and I believe on the right hand side we're also pushing up. I think it was actually Tavernier that was pushing the right hand side, but nevertheless, you've got the full press there, and Tillman just goes directly for the midfielder. It almost felt like a trap in a way, and he's positive, he wins the ball back. Again, he tries to have a quick grab at him. Disney go to the ground, stays on his feet, and then we've seen people react, and we've seen very experienced players and people maybe not seeing the pass or going for the shot or just trying to pass it too early. But this is the sheer brilliance of a Malik Tillman, that he gets the ball, and anyone, my arse would collapse, I'll be honest with you, right frickin' now, but he just calms it down. He takes 1 touch, 2 touch, manipulates the goalkeeper, waits for Colak till he's definitely onside, and then just softly passes it to him, and Big Colak does the rest. That might just look like a tap-in for 2 yards, but I'll tell you something right now, the brilliance and the quality in that goal is right up there with some of the best things we've seen, and it's all down to Tillman's coolness and composure on that. Now, PSV reacted quite aggressively to us taking the lead, making a triple substitution, and they were just piling people forward, but it was nearly us that ended up having another opportunity. Ryan Kent cut inside, has a shot deflected out to Tillman, who was very unlucky with his effort, but I like that for Kent. Again, I still don't think he's at his 100% sharpest because of coming back from the knock, but you can't take what that laddie gives you back and forth, back and frickin' forth. So we continue on with the game, but there's always going to be a spell, where PSV start getting chances, and this is when we all started to feel very sick. Started with Barisic not getting out quickly enough to his man, and the ball ends up getting dropped into the back post for Max, who I believe it was, but thankfully he slashes at it with his left foot. Very, very delighted with that. And then 5 minutes after that, John McLaughlin, who's been getting slaughtered a lot in the comments, and I've been getting slaughtered for no calling him out on this or the comment. I think he's a good goalkeeper, and somebody even said that I've got a soft spot for the laddie, but I'll tell you something right now. Remember this save in this game, because the guy's in behind the Rangers defence, he comes out, spreads himself, he gets his body as big as possible, and he clears out. If that's Alan McGregor, we're singing the song, we're saying he's the hero and everything like that, but because it's John McLaughlin, I didn't think he's getting the actual respect. And it's not just that save. I want to pull you back to USG when we were 2-0 down, when he saved that 1v1 versus them in the 80th minute of the game. How big of a save that was to give us the chance of what we've done in the second leg. And let's not forget the saves that he also made when it was 2-2 last week, or last Tuesday I should say, to keep us in the frickin' game and give us the platform. So for me, John McLaughlin, I know you want to dive in left, right, centre all afternoon, but he's done his part on the road to the Champions League, and he was absolutely massive in the 74th minute of this game. And I'll be honest with you people, that was sort of it for the biggest opportunities in the actual game. That's right, despite the terror and that we felt from that moment onwards, PSV didn't give us anything, because we actually defended like our hearts and our lives depended on it. And again, I'm going to give Connor Goldson a big shout out here, because he got stuck in it. I've never seen that laddie slide tackle in my entire time watching him play for Rangers, I should say. Not once have I seen him slide tackle, but he went 50-50, 50-50. Maybe that's an aggressive change because people have been coming after him since the weekend, but I thought he was an absolute Iron Man back there, and the partnership him and James Sands had for that last 15 minutes, I think if either one of them wasn't there, we'd probably concede, but the two of them rose to the occasion and were absolutely excellent. Scott Wright and Arfield came on, by the way. That was a really important moment of the game. Scott Wright burns the guy with the pace and ends up wiping out, but the referee only sees it as a yellow card, even though it was wide to the right, and he's running into the box, but maybe the referee thought I was covering it, but we'll leave it frickin' there. And Sakala ended up coming on. That was a surprise to see the laddie bit again, all legs, and then the full-time whistle went after a couple very big headers, and Ryan Kent turning his man and having a wee Wally with Mr. Xavi Simons and everything like that. But again, that is what football's all about. The way we handled the pressure, we didn't cave, we kept going, everybody stuck in to a task, is for me why I sit here and say that is one of the best away performances I've seen for a Rangers side in a very, very long time. Again, Dortmund is the highest that we'll never see anything like that again, but this right here, to a man digging in and no giving anything away, and how many cross balls we had to deal with. Absolutely incredible for this Rangers team, and I genuinely couldn't be prouder. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the game recap. We have got the dream, and honestly, if I am dreaming, dinny, wake me up. Let me just enjoy this a little bit more, because we are back to the biggest stages. We have got that money. Honestly, all that patter, all that malarkey's absolutely batted out the window, because the next time you hear where's the money coming from, just say the Champions League. So I will be seeing you tomorrow for the reaction to the Champions League group stages, either live or I'll maybe make a video. You can let me know what you want to see in the comment section below. But now I just want to hand the reins over to you guys. We've been some real European heartache and some low points. We've seen guys in bushes and everything like that. So I just want to know what your thoughts and opinions are. Now we're back to the Champions League group stages. Can't wait to share this moment with you. Who is your man of the match? Again, overall, I'd probably give it to young Sands, but everyone, especially that last 20 minutes, was excellent. And Barisic, who I thought was annoying for not stopping a couple of crosses. He was big and important in the last 15 minutes again. So everyone, massive thumbs up. Couldn't be prouder. Aye, I can't wait to see what he's saying. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow for the Champions League group reaction or live reaction. I've been CJ over 92. Thank you so much for watching and bye.